Have you heard about Wabi-Sabi? It's Japanese aesthetic concept, and I believe that it can be applicable to photography. In Japan, you can feel Wabi-Sabi from everywhere. For example, like temples, gardens, a crack on a teapot, and even green moss on a rock. I use the word Wabi-Sabi when I feel some kind of nostalgia. Then what is Wabi-Sabi? I don't know. It consists of two words, wabi and sabi. The literal meaning of wabi is loneliness, melancholy, or depression. It originally had a negative meaning, but from around Muromachi era, which is from 1336 to 1573, by people suffering from severe poverty and famine, this word started to be used positively as a meaning of the appreciation of a serene, modest, and simple life. I assume that the people try to focus on enjoying their life even though it's not perfect, and giving up thinking of what they cannot control. In 16th century, wabi was brought to the world of art by Zen monk Sen-no-rikyu, who theorized the tea ceremony as it is still practiced in contemporary Japan. The tea ceremony was more luxurious ritual with luxurious utensils. But he applied the concept of wabi to the ceremony and he transformed it to more minimalistic and modest style. The style is called wabi-cha. He experimented wabi in many ways. He used mundane daily use items in ceremonies, which is quite unusual at that time. And he made an untraditional teacup, which is raku chawan. It's obviously distorted, imbalanced, and imperfect. He found the beauty of imperfection that leads to the definition of wabi we still use today. Wabi is an attitude or a mentality to accept lack, inconvenience, and imperfection, and find beauty out of them. The literal meaning of sabi is aging, fading, and being rusty. It also had a negative meaning originally, but there's also a guy who brought the word to the world of art, Matsuo Basho, who was a poet in the 17th century. There's a famous haiku which is Japanese poetry from him. 古池やカエル飛び込む水の音 The ancient pond, a frog jumps in, the sound of the water. It was hard to find perfect translations, but they somehow illustrate the beauty of these haiku. Through his works, he expressed the beauty of what is fading, aging, and getting rusty. That changed people's perspective on sabi. Sabi is the beauty of appearance changing by aging, which reflects the essence of inside. So in my understanding, wabi is the beauty of imperfection, sabi is the beauty of fading. Wabi-sabi is the combination of these two words. Then wabi-sabi is the beauty of imperfect things which reflects the flow of life. How does it sound? It's just my perspective, so there's no right or wrong. You can have your own wabi-sabi. Then how can we apply wabi-sabi to the art of photography? I wouldn't say this photo is wabi-sabi, this photo is not wabi-sabi. because I found that Wabi-Sabi is not a specific concept, but it's more like a personal feeling. We can somehow apply the essence of Wabi-Sabi to our mindset when we do photography. There are two important essences of Wabi-Sabi. Today, information is saturated and people say, you should do this, you shouldn't do this, you should use this camera, you shouldn't use this lens. But there's no should or shouldn't in photography. There's no perfect, everything is imperfect, that's why photography is beautiful. For example, if you only have a 28mm lens and you are in a situation most photographers use 50mm lens, that's not perfect situation for you, right? But you can apply Wabi-Sabi and change your mindset. There's a chance that you can take up photos that other photographers cannot take, because you are the only one using 28mm in this situation. Just appreciate what you have and don't think about what you cannot control, like the people in the Muromachi or Sennorikyu did. When you take photos, you would wonder what if sunlight is brighter, what if subject is closer, this camera has more megapixel. This world is not perfect, especially when you take photos. But there's always beauty in each situation. Just appreciate this imperfect world and take photos out of it. As a photographer, you might have naturally or intuitively gravitated towards something vintage. Old billboard, old car, old house, or even old guy. I think that's Wabi-Sabi. Photographers can find the beauty from things fading or getting rusty. I think because they reflect the flow of life, and there's a close affinity between photography and Wabi-Sabi. Because, like I said, Wabi-Sabi is the beauty of the flow of life, and photography can stop and capture the flow. Vintage things are very obvious, but it's not necessarily vintage. Because everything is fading, everything is reflecting the flow of life. The point is how you find the beauty of them and capture them. The act of photography is very Wabi-Sabi. We capture the flow of life and it can last forever. Imagine how people in the next century would react when they see our photos. They would feel Wabi-Sabi. By knowing more about Wabi-Sabi, you can more appreciate things around you. Everything is imperfect and everything is fading. That's why it's worth shooting. Wabi-Sabi is so huge and deep topic to cover with just one video. And I might have said something different from your perspective, but please allow me because I'm not perfect. I hope this video is helpful to you and to your photography journey. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe and like button. Sayonara.